give you a third topic, ask you to speak on combating trust and more violence. The role of the Liberia Trust Enforcement Agency in promoting sustainable peace and social cohesion in Liberia. Trust and more violence is a serious issue in our society. But before we go, let me just go back a little bit. As a student of history, I want to appreciate the Lutheran Church of Liberia for their support to serving humanities. I can recall the days of the war, among the humanitarian institutions that provide food and catering services and shelter for Liberians. Among them was the World Youth Service, providing feeding. I can recall away as Nima County, the lower part of Nima, the Figo went through barrels of rich food, shelters, clothing for display Liberians being the heat of the war. And again, I want to say thank you for that already. Can they extend our appreciation to the leadership, really pastors of the Lutheran Church in Liberia. And at the level of the Liberia Trust Enforcement Agency, we want to pledge our commitment and support in working with you. It is this time that we need trauma and healing program most for drug addicts and victims in Liberia. And our goals are hoping we want to establish a working relationship and partnership. I will respond to those who call now at risk youth. There are hundreds and thousands of them out there, and really insecurities for our communities, our mothers, our kids. Liberia faces a dual problem: expanding drug supplies, recurrent episodes of more violence, vandalism that undermine rule of law, and fuel instability and worsen social division. The Liberia Drug Enforcement Agency, the national agency charged with disrupting trafficking and reducing drug harms, can be a central actor for restoring confidence in state protection, preventing vandalism, and promoting social cohesion by pairing targeted enforcement with community-focused prevention. This trust issue, a part of our focus, cannot be achieved by law enforcement alone. This is what we are calling community members, religious institutions, civil society organizations. Some people can say well-meaning Liberians, but I say all Liberians to join this fight. The LDA is a government institution responsible for counter-narcotics enforcement in Liberia, tasked with intercepting traffickers, arresting dealers, and destroying illegal drugs under the Ministry of Justice. So the Liberia Drug Enforcement Agency is under the direct supervision of the Ministry of Justice. Liberia has seen strong civil mobilizations and public alarms about drugs in 2025. including large marches, a call for emergency action, and official data citing by local reporting indicates substantial youth drug use and many urban drug dens. The public frustration has contributed to higher instances of mob actions against suspects or drug offenders. The LDA and panel ministries or institutions are already being pushed to act swiftly, issuing warning against vandalism and taking organizational steps while international panels are emerging on capacity building for the Liberia Drug Enforcement Agency. Let's go a little bit deeper. What is mob violence? Mob violence, in the context of today's discussion, refers to violent acts carried out by a large, organized, and they say loosely, group of people. It technically involves suddenly. It's fueled by high emotions, rumors, prejudice, or perceived grievance. Mob violence can take many forms, so-called riots, lynching, vandalism, communal violence, or attack on individual or property. Key characteristics of mob violence: collective behavior. Actions are driven by the crowd rather than the individual actions alone. So when it comes to the issue of mob violence, you can see one person doing mob violence. Actions, crowd, and most of the people in the crowd don't know the genesis of the situation. We have a situation in Ghana when the alleged motorbike theft was beaten to death, and the mob who carried action later on begin to know that this person they killed was the wrong person. So in more instances of mob violence, those who involve into that action, they are driven by rumors. They heard that this is happening. Some of them are driven by emotion, high emotion, insensitive, anger, fear, or excitement spread quickly. Lose of individual responsibility. People may do things in crowd they would never do alone. Common causes of mob violence: social or ethnic tensions, political polarizations or incitement, economic frustration or inequality, misinformation. There's a key of mob violence. Misinformation spread through social media. And sometimes 2 years they say. 99.9% revenue of the mob violent issues I was telling have proven that is caused by misinformation. Most of the things that the mob respond to are not real. The actions, when you compare the action with what actually happened, it got wild variations. This is why we are asking community members to report incidences to law enforcement institutions, to not take action on your own. Because your action may not be driven by informed information. It will be information that makes the disinformation. The consequences of mob violence: loss of life, injuries, property destruction. You are seeing people burn people. You had an incident 2015 in Nima, in Ghana, that they alleged that this well-known businessman was involved to ritualistic killing. Like I said, the information run faster. They put a 5-story building ablaze. fast people put their building in place. And they move to a resident, they put it in place. 2 days later, they get to that the whole information, the fiasco, in umbrella, fake. A deeping social division, that I'm not falling into. A brilliant trust institution. A long-term trauma and instability. Now we go to drugs. What is drugs? Drugs is any substance that affects the body when it is taken. It includes medicine, antibiotics that will take will have pain, caffeine, alcohol. Now our point of concentration is what we call illegal or illicit drugs. It's a drug that is legal to be manufactured, to be sold, possessed, or used. These drugs include heroin, include cocaine, include marijuana. And now what the people are doing, since the illegal drugs manufacturers know that law enforcement institutions around the world, they have developed more technology to discover and disrupt their activities. They are moving to synthetic drugs. It means they're going more chemical. They take the living natural drugs and going to chemical drugs. So they bring precursors. It means the raw substance that have to be detected by law enforcement institutions. And they kind of do their local productions in country. And now you can't even form a tablet. This is what we call tramadol. Now we got tramadol in country. We got trapentadol. Now the new one is Kaka. Kaka now is developed in Nigeria. The precursor is brought in country, the raw material is brought in country, and they develop Kaka in Nigeria and distribute it in our society. And Kaka is now a more dangerous than even tramadol. Then we got another one called Kush. Kush is also developed and used, and is more dangerous than what you think. Illegal drugs are illegal because they have a more potential for abuse and dangerous to our health. What is the role of the LDA in responding to these core problems of more violence and drugs? Weak institutions. And sometimes by the institutions that are responsible to lead the fight against drugs. The first thing the public need to know, the public needs to hear about the internal wrangling in the institution, leadership fight, officers lack of trust in community. And when you're having the kind of situations within your country, those who involve to trafficking and drug dealing makes maximum use of it to infest your community with these substances. Drug markets and youth vulnerabilities. The issue of drug will spread wide in youth that are vulnerable to drug use. And law enforcement also only look at response, they don't look at prevention. So we also look at response, we don't look at prevention, because the drug market also to expand. What is the strategic role of the LTE? Targeted disruption of traffickers. Intelligent level operation focus on high level traffickers and supply chain. So our role now is to target the trafficker, the supply chain. The new source are what we call the victims. We are partnering with the Ministry of Health, Ministry of Gender to provide support to the victims. But our main target is to go after traffickers, to go after the supply chain, to dismantle their network. Public safety and trust building. Transparent operation, quick handover to prosecution. Public communication to reduce impulses of most violence. The other time I was in one community when the people told me that the drugs traffickers were arrested, sometimes by later on returning to communities. Some of the issues that can lead to more violence. So right now we're working with the community, providing public information to the community, explaining to them the drug law, the arrest procedure, the court processing. So we're working with the community because when the community gets this information, they don't be avoiding drugs, more violence. Prevention and treatment coordination. When we dislodge the people from King Grave, they don't have place to go. They assemble at the beach around Congo Town. Community people got to call us, or they arrest you. I assemble somewhere in Congo Town in their hundreds on the beach. We have to go to the community and talk to the community, explain to the community the reason you see them. And also coordinate with the Ministry of Youth and Sport to ensure that we have enough treatment centers in Liberia. So in the 2026 budget, like I was talking yesterday, by the end of 2026, we'll ensure that the government have enough or more treatment centers established in 15 countries. We are working with Ministry of Youth and Sport. There's a adverse reaction between response, enforcement, and arrest youth. When we don't have pressing facility in Liberia to keep more than 1 million arrest youth in this country. Even the pressing facility in Central Monrovia, or called South Beach, have been overstretched. So where do we care to arrest youth? The only place we get together in a treatment center because they are victims of drug use. We're not treating them as criminals. So we're working with Ministry of Youth and Sport, Ministry of Gender, and Ministry of Health to cater for those arraigned youth. The more you see them in your community, the more you feel flighty. Whether they are using drugs or not using drugs, or they are pressing your community on safety and rule of law. We are partnering with key institutions like the police, the court, local leaders, panel civil society organizations to integrate national response. The issue of drugs is not law enforcement alone. Drugs activities is happening within your communities. This is what we are saying. Drugs in a house. You are the landlord, and you condone the issue of drugs being sealed in your house. We will keep that house as a crime scene. So what it means is the ownership of that house for that time when the investigation will be ceased. And the occupation of that house will be asked to go out. And your source of income When the month ends, you will not get money for your rent. So we ask community members, before people get in your house, know their activities. Because the issue of drugs is a new issue. When people having drugs activity in the community, you'll be aware. Community people will be aware. Drugs issue happening in communities. It's not happening outside of community. The fact is we don't produce drugs in this country. This synthetic drugs is not being produced in Liberia. The huge influence of tramadol and kush in Liberia is not producing Liberia. A part of our bowlers. And the activity happening within our communities. So we're asking all community members to report the issue of drugs. What's on the priority program that we're introduced? Rapid response, community protections. So we'll get the information, we'll respond rapidly, and also provide protection for communities. We're introducing a whistleblower protection system. So when you get information to the LDA, it will respond and you'll be protected. Your information will not be given. Community liaison team. My community prevention team are establishing community action team and we'll be working with them directly. So they can be able to have a link between the LDA and the community. So when incident happens within the community, we will respond to the LDA in real time. We're developing flyers, stickers. Our hotlines will be on those flyers and stickers. We want to use a festive season to make sure that our flyers and stickers reach in most communities in Liberia. So you can be able to give us real information in real time. We are also establishing peer educator clubs in high schools to be able to educate our school-going kids on the dangers of drugs and substance abuse. Our study also shown that most of the people who are in drugs issues, some of them into it by peer pressure. Some of them into it unknowingly. Somebody hair thing. We got an incident in one school. They say, oh, I have my hair thing. He said, oh, mommy, I get one tablet I can take. The man take the tablet, if I man fail all in school, the man went home 2 days later, feel come to himself. So some of our kids, they don't know. I will tell you, our kids do not yet take tablet for your friend and take it. The synthetic drugs are being transformed into tablets and being spread in our communities. We have also increased our intelligence and vigilance level. Somebody asked me, oh, they hire man to get the drugs in the back of the TV, in the motorbike tires, and they're using all kind of means. The last time somebody put the drugs on themselves, tire on themselves, and wear cold oil, man looking at fat man. And you know the challenge we have, we don't have drug detectors for our bowlers and full of entries. We don't have it. So we heavily rely on intelligence. So we have deployed a lot of intelligence from within our neighboring countries. Most of the drug traffic route now is for Freetown and Guinea. And you already know about the situation in Guinea. Guinea has a military government. So the diplomatic relationship between Liberia and Guinea is not at that level when it should be a stable government. So at the whole northern borderland is a hard zone. So we also have people in Guinea who also provide information. Who also give you information. So we are increasing our intelligence level. A great minister is here. We're working with prosecution, corrections. That when the people are arrested and going to prison, they are coming back in the community, they will create problems for the community and problems for the enforcement. So we are working with judiciary to fast track the issue of drugs-related cases, and we are working with prosecution to make sure they get space allocated just for drugs-related cases. We are also working with Ministry of Health, Ministry of Youth and Sport on the issue of treatment and youth resilience. Most of the program is meant to prevent our incoming generation to get into the issue of drug addiction and drug abuse. School-based prevention and work-based prevention. At the LD, we are organizing work-based prevention. and school-based prevention programs. We're working with schools, Ministry of Education. Now we are asking the cabinet to approve a mandatory drug testing for school-going children. We are working with the cabinet to approve a mandatory drug testing for school-going kids. This is very important to save the generation. I will start with those that are in school. Once upon a time, we used to have what we call Black Friday or Good Friday, Super Friday, and we parents, we sat in a place and condone that for our kids. That was the beginning of the trust issues in the young people. We sat down here, we allow our kids in Super Friday. Every Friday they go on the beach. They involve themselves into extra curriculum activity. I want to call extra curriculum activity. I want to call stupidity. When you go to the beach to do, parents will condone it. Our children got into more than fire until Balanceli had to put stop to it. That's where our trouble begins. And it's dangerous. So, my staff are telling me my time is running out. We are here today. I'll be leaving very shortly, but I'll be leaving Spare Agent Grace Bolba, who is very versatile in prevention programs, drug addiction programs. And what we do at LTA, she will be here, she will answer most of your questions, she will even talk more than what I have done. Again, we have come to partner with the Lutheran Church of Liberia, so we can develop a more sustainable way where we can respond to those people that are already victims. And we are also come to ask our students, the future leader of this country, the path to drug addiction, illicit drug is the wrong way to go. Don't get involved into that. See your brothers and sisters on the street. I can tell you that these people were born and celebrated as when Reverend were born, when I was born, when all of you sitting in the room were born. They were not born to be in Zogo and raise you. Do not go that path. You are the future of this country, this nation. We need teachers in schools. We need religious prelates. We need doctors. We need police officers. We need soldiers. We need engineers. We need economists, accountants. This generation, the generation that will depend on to produce these people, we need president. We need lawmakers. You are the generation that is going to depend on. Say no to drugs. Say no to illicit drugs. Drugs is not good for you. It destroys your future. It destroys your livelihood. It creates a condition where your friends and family will not want to see you. So again, we want to say thank you to our organizer and thank you for this invitation. Our doors are open. And lastly, community people. Please help us. They'll report the incidents of drug activities in your community. Do not keep it. The LDA is here for you. We are here to respond. We are here to protect you. Having said, I want to say thank you. Let God bless all of us. Let's keep on praying for the LDA. Let's keep praying for ourselves. Let's keep praying for our children as they leave the womb and go out. Let's pray for them. Let it be covered by the blood of Jesus. Let it make a good decision that will save themselves and save our society and our community. Thank you.
members of the LDA bus in Federal TM Bravo.
Please
Plentifully
give in a better round of applause.
the workings of the LDA.
Like we said,
receives a round of
please have a
applause.
seat. The officer in charge will have to leave, but he's leaving Officer Graves and others here to continue the engagement with us. Officer Biago, we want to give you this gift. Please receive our gift before you go. Our calendar is a gift to you. We'll give you.
So again, where are you joining us from? This is IT Liberia 2 Live.
I want to thank you for your commitment and partnership with us. This is a gift from us for you, and showcasing some of our work. We will surely come to sit with you so we can talk about rehabilitation and awareness and all of those things that we are into. Thank you so much for your time, sir. It's good to have you with us today. Thank you. And there's one for officer. You're one for the chief. Thank you. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we're getting there. I want you to please join me as we welcome to the podium. Anthony, Lieutenant